I thought I would be late, and I'm on the dot, so I'm glad. I'm waiting for you to say hi to me to see everything works. Okay. Let's wait a few seconds before actually everybody comes in, because I mentioned on Facebook that I would have been 5 minutes late, and actually I'm not, so. Hello. So it's funny because last time, I have been looking for a parking spot for at least 75 minutes, and then I gave up. And today it's an Eco Sunday. I don't know if you read that on Facebook, but Eco Sunday means that cars can be used in certain times of the day. They do that for the environment, which is fine, but at the same time it's really frustrating for the people who need to use the car, and they always do it on Sunday, which is my tour day with you. So today I had to use public transport, which is fine. It's not because of the public transport, but it's because of the timing. So I thought I would be super late, and actually I'm glad I'm not. Actually, let me stop here. I can't believe we're finally doing this tour. It's been a little cursed, but we're finally here. Okay, so today we're in a beautiful area. I mean, we're starting from a beautiful view, but we won't stop there much because we've been to Sant'Angelo Castle so many times, even inside, right? So and so the thing is, we're gonna see the view, but we're not gonna actually go towards Sant'Angelo Castle, but on the opposite side. We're gonna finally enjoy the real Rome's city center, but through its beautiful alleys. I think it's the best. When I have some spare time, which is almost never, I generally get lost in Rome through the alleys with no destination. I highly suggest to do so if you're a tourist, and you'll always find yourself in some beautiful corner or place or church or anything that you never encountered before. Even if you are a Roman, I always find myself in some new alley, and I'm like, wow, can this city always surprise me? So of course today it's more like I know where I'm going, so I'll show you still beautiful alleys, but of course more famous ones. But that's what I do, and I'm not the only one doing that. A lot of people do that. They just get lost, and because Rome is just beautiful, even just to get lost, not just enjoy the beautiful landmarks. There's pickpocketing. I would say Rome is a very safe city, honestly. No, it's fine. You're fine. Then you're actually very safe here, even if you are, let's say, alone, young, a woman, at night in the city center. You're good. But yes, there's pickpocketing. I would say that's the only problem we have in Rome, and that generally happens in the underground, in the metro. And generally most of them are gypsies. So more or less that's what it is. Anyways, I think we're ready to start finally. Actually, even pretty on time. If on the way I find some mints, let me stop because I need some mints. I'm missing my mints. But in the meantime, ciao Diana, ciao Czech, ciao Catherine, Zina, MP, and all the other people there are in the tour. So today we'll see the beautiful view of Sant'Angelo Castle, and we go on the opposite way till reaching the beautiful Navona Square, which we have seen at Christmas, but really quick, and also was very full of Christmas markets. Now we'll actually take a look at the most beautiful fountains there, also because they've been just renovated, and you'll see how wide they got. Anyways, before we actually start, I I want to remind everybody, as always, that this is a free tour, but it's supported by you in two ways. Bringing more friends to these tours, because more friends means more support. And I understand that not every time you can support a tour, so maybe new people can do so. So it's very important to bring new people, and it's a really great help. Don't think it's not. So do it. Ask your friends, ask your relatives to join, and I'm sure they will enjoy the tour as much as you do. And on top of that, of course, you can support by leaving a tip. And how to leave a tip? You can support with a tip clicking on the links below this tour. There's a description of this tour, but there are also two links, both PayPal and Buy Me Coffee. You can use both of those, but also if you can find them, they are in the description of the YouTube channel. So if you go on the description of the channel, you will also find the links there. If you don't happen to find them there either, then you can just message me on Messenger, and I will send you the links privately. Okay? So now we're ready to start. And of course, you can, forgot to say, but you can support now during the tour, after the tour, after a few days rewatching the tour. You can do it anytime, okay? And just know that all my tours, I mean most of them, not all, I need to be honest, most of them are kept in the channel, so you have also the chance to actually review them again. Okay? Now we're ready to start. And actually, before I start, let me clean my glasses. Just give me a second. In the meantime, you're looking at the Sant'Angelo Castle. As I said before, we won't go there. We won't even go to the bridge. Okay, sorry for the shaking. But we can definitely admire it from here. So we've been there many times. The castle, as you know, was called Mausoleum of Hadrian until the 600th century. And then it transformed into the Sant'Angelo Castle because of a wave of pestilence, a plague. So when the plague was about to end, the Archangel Michael appeared, and that's why then the Pope decided to rename the castle Sant'Angelo Castle. So for 5-6 centuries, the castle was the Mausoleum of Hadrian, which was the main purpose. I mean, it was born as a tomb for the emperor, and then it transformed into a castle, a fortress, so Sant'Angelo Castle. Now, they just recreated, I don't know if you noticed, because of course, not being from Rome, it's not easy. They recreated a paved area, pedestrian area. Generally, you would see cars until here. Now, they kind of wanted to create this paved area to enter the bridge. And then we have the bridge, of course, which, you know, we've talked many times about the macabre aspect of the bridge. Of the executioners that would leave the heads cut off on place of the angel statues as a warning for the people passing by. And statues that you see are 10, and 12, and 2 of them are made by Bernini himself. Of course, the original one are not here, so there are the copies here. Since the 6th century, the angel was then set on top of the castle because of the story I just told you. I'm just going fast on this because I know I talked many times about it, and then it was changed 6 times until having the shape that he has right now. So changing even material many times, bronze, wood, iron, many more. Okay, and now we're ready to actually start our tour. here. I think that Rome is full of people, full of tourists. It's very, very crowded. We are expecting a lot of tourists because of the Jubilee. So it's very, it's becoming very also tough to to run the tour sometimes. But we are here to enjoy, and now you will see all these little stores with leather stores, or just souvenir stores, or restaurants, or bistro, depending. There are many. And our first stop, it's Arco dei Banchi, Arch of the Bankers in English. It is exactly here on the right. And I want to actually start from outside. So to give you an idea, actually I will go a little farther. Look at the beautiful medieval style alley. By the way, thank you SM Baldridge for your support. Okay, so look at this beautiful alley even from outside. Now we're getting into the little arch again, which is Arch of the Bankers in English, but in Italian Arco dei Banchi. Probably positioning myself here. And so it's a little street, as you probably noticed already, where the most famous banker in all of Rome lived, Antonino Chigi. He used to set up a banquet under the archway we're going to go now, and manage all of his finances there. So the Arch of the Bankers was, in this case, a street as important as it was battered during the period of looting, especially that of the 1526 by the Lanzichenecchi, who we mentioned many times. The invaders knew very well where the Roman riches were, so this means that they always went to hit this arch first, totally depriving it of its treasures, money, and other important stuff. Yes, Catherine, thank you so much for the support. So inside, there's also, now we're gonna see the arch now, because inside there's also a plaque commemorating the oldest flood ever happened in Roman history, which occurred in 1277. And I'll show you the plaque. Show you the plaque right now. The plaque is here. And then there's the picture of the Madonna right here. Which belongs to the 1800s, but before that there was a statue, and that later was moved and eventually lost. So yes, from days gone by, this was the only spot, by the way, of the arch to be illuminated. So the image was the image of the Virgin was a reference point for all the visitors coming here, and the pilgrims as well, on their way to the Vatican, which is not that far, when, of course, it was dark. So very, very important point for all the people coming by. Apart from that, you probably also have noticed that to add this little touch of peace to the whole thing, there's the ceiling. which represents a starry sky, and of course leaves all the visitors with the nose up in the air. We always say that, yes, we also have night in Rome when it's daylight, and when we say that, we mean this arch. So look how beautiful. Is the image okay? Because I see a little fading, but probably it's just me. Okay, that was our first stop. As you see also like stores for food. Look at all those prosciuttos and salami. It's full of interesting shops here. Borgo di Santo Spirito is the street. I didn't mention it because we're actually taking many alleys, so it will probably be very difficult to remember all of them. But if you're interested in one of them, then, I mean, I can definitely tell you while we are on the way. Okay. And now we'll just enjoy a little of this alleys. Okay, good image, I'm glad. Because it's just beautiful even just to get lost, as I said. Okay, someone bought a coffee. As always, he appears to me as someone. So, remind me who, because I always forget. E scusi, via dei Coronari dov'è? Sa di qua.
Via dei Coronari.
Mi sono perso un attimo.
Deve un po'. Quindi andare verso Piazza Navona, arrivare a Piazza Navona.
No, la prima.
Com'è?
È prima.
Via dei Coronari.
No, è qui vicino, prima di Piazza Navona.
No, devi arrivare a Piazza Navona e piegare, oppure prendere qualcuna di queste traverse per ricongiungersi.
Ok.
Non
sì.
è facile.
Ok.
Così. Oppure ritornare sul Lungotevere e prenderla dopo Ponte Sant'Angelo. Da qui. Forse così è più immediata, vicino al banco di Santo Spirito.
Ma sto seguendo un tour dal vivo, quindi devo per forza andare di qua. Grazie comunque. Sorry for this digression. Anyways, we're about to see Via dei Coronari. I can spell it for you because it's a very important alley. I mean, more than an alley, it's a street. So I'm gonna spell it right now. It's Coronari. And it's one of the most famous alleys / streets in Rome. How about we get lost together? How do you like that? Yeah, let's go this way. Less people, let's enjoy what I told you before, you know? Just to get lost. This is not part of the tour. I just want to do it this way. Of course, this will lead me to probably get lost and probably look at beautiful. See? That's what I meant. We encounter a famous Nasone. This is a big nose fountain. You see, because of the tap, it looks like a nose. And I already told you that you place your hand underneath, and then from that little hole, the water comes out. Thank you, MP. Thank you, MP. And see, look also the beautiful colors. Of this see, this is the beauty of Rome, the fact that you can encounter some really calm and quiet streets, and with no people, no crowd, in the middle of downtown. This is a super beautiful alley, and this is totally not, part of the tour, but I just wanted to make it a little, how to say, spontaneous, you see? And it's just beautiful. And you think like Rome is like a little village. It looks like a little village, but actually it's a capital, so that's the thing. Yes, Shirley, you will love it, because actually I just decided to get lost. So this is not the actual path that I was supposed to take, but thanks to this, see, we just found an edicola, a shrine. So, and we will encounter many more. So you will love it. Anyways, now let's try to find our street, Via dei Coronari. Oh, you remember ladri di biciclette? We talked about that in our movie, In My Neighborhood tour. Bicycle thief. You remember that movie? And we are reaching Via dei Coronari, as I said before. Why Coronari? So, it's a famous street, as I said. The origin of the street dates back to the Middle Ages and was called, back then, Via Recta, meaning straight in English, since it was one of the few straight streets in Rome at that time. So that's why. Oh, I remember the street as well. My friend used to live here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful street as well. Showing you see, this is the beauty of the live, showing you the beauty of the spontaneous things we're seeing. Beautiful these alleys are. Sorry, I'm getting too lost. I know you will probably hate me now, but look how beautiful this is, super narrow building as well, and this view. Okay. I'm just enjoying the silence, but don't worry. I'll get into the infos more as we go. I just don't wanna give you too much infos without being actually at the place. Look how beautiful the fountain is. Wow. It's a private property. And it's Palazzo Taverna Palace. It is beautiful. Yes, I agree, MP, I agree. Now, I'm a little undecided if going this way or this way, and I'll go this way. Okay.
How's it go? Yeah.
See, totally unexpected to do this, the touring before we actually get to our next stop. Scusami, ma via dei Coronari?
A sinistra.
Ah, grazie. See, I was doing the right path. I just asked for confirmation because I love all these streets, but at some point I also get lost. You may think you're from Rome. No, it doesn't mean anything. Look how difficult all these streets are. Of course, more or less I know, like orientation, and some of them I know them very well, but it depends. Depends. Vicolo del Figo. Okay, we're finally joining the street that I was telling you about. So, again, from the Middle Ages. And something else that I wanted to mention, going this way, is that it was also the fastest way to reach St. Peter's from the port of Ripetta, a very famous port in Rome. For this reason, the street was much frequented by pilgrims, and for this reason, by sellers of sacred images and crowns. Crowns, in English, in Italian, it's corona. Corona, Coronari, the name of the street. That's why I'm telling you the reason why the street is called that way. Because of the crown sellers. And crown in Italian is corona. And here we are. And also because all the stores dedicated to the crowns, selling crowns, were in the street. Not anymore nowadays. This is one of my favorite alleys ever. Look how beautiful that little staircase there, going up to this little church and the restaurant on the side. Who wouldn't love just to enjoy some meal in Rome right now here? Maybe not now because you're way ahead of me. Way behind me, so probably it's too early. But still, just fantasize about it. They just renovated the square. There's an open space now, which is very beautiful. Anyway, we're a church that wasn't supposed to be in this tour. As a matter of fact, we'll actually walk the other way, but I just wanted to show you a church, San Salvatore church. Look how beautiful. And look how beautiful the day is today. Okay, now we are in the hunt for an edicola, a shrine. And we need to necessarily take this street again, which is, again, Via dei Coronari. So if you come to Rome, just get lost here. You will enjoy it very much. And then we see a beautiful fountain, a church, some other alleys, Navona Square. You will love it all the way. there you go, the little shrine that you see up there. There are many in here in this area, but this is not what we're looking for. Just showing you there are many like that. Look at the beautiful view as well. And I enjoy the bells ringing as well. Okay. That shrine is just one of the many shrines in this area. So you will find many of them in this area, but the one we're looking for is the most beautiful one, in my opinion. It was a sacred shrine built in 1523, 500 years ago, exactly 500 years ago. Well, a little bit more. This is one of them. There you go. The only bad thing is that it has the street lamp. Okay, there you go. Probably that's the best. This one and also this one are the most famous one of this area. Showing you the other one as well. There you go. I don't know if you have any ways to zoom it or maybe take a screenshot, because it's very dark actually. But in case, I can send an image on Facebook if you want me to. So the two shrines are very close to each other. You see here on the left and there on the right, the other one. They're illuminated at night, of course. This one is the one I was telling you about, the one built in 1523 by Antonio da San Gallo the Younger, on the palace of a cardinal. So this was a cardinal palace before. And the image depicts a coronation. I don't know if you can tell, because it's very, I mean, I don't have the zoom with me today. Which is the coronation of the Virgin. I mean, now it's badly legible, but still in its original location, and it's very, I mean, it's not worth it because it's the oldest of the sacred shrines in Rome. So not only my, probably the other one would be my favorite because of the statues around the shrine, as you see, but this is the oldest in Rome. So just think that 522 sacred edifices or shrines are preserved in the district of Rome. I mean, in the historic center of Rome. Most of them date back to the 17 and 1800, when they ensure with their burning lamps the only night lighting in the city, just like the Madonna that we've seen under the arch. But this is from the 16th century, from the beginning of the 16th century. Again, if you want me to, I can post these two shrines so you can see the images after. So don't worry about it. I will do that later. Just remind me in case I forget. Okay? And now this fountain, which is a little... I mean, it's working even if you can tell. But it's really cute. Because here we are in... Piazza San Simeone, and this is the Fontana of San Simeone, San Simeon fountain, kind of like, almost like Simone, so S-I-M-E-O-N-E, so there's an extra E. And I think that this fountain was designed by Giacomo della Porta, of course. We mention him many times when it comes to fountains. Back in the 16th century, as a local fountain, so it was not for the tourists or for the public. For a square that disappeared after due to urban transformation works. Think about it, in 1932. So, I mean, the transformation happened right after, but then in 1932, it was moved here, and only in 1973, again, after being for about 40 years in the deposits of Rome. I mean, to be exact, in the Orange Gardens on the Aventine Hill. We've been there, if you recall, during our Rose Garden tour. So the fountain has been here, back here since 1973, exactly 50 years ago, 52 to be exact. The coats of arms that now I'm showing you. Prego, prego. People are scared to pass by, but actually it's all good. The coats of arms here. Are here on the lower basin.
He was killed in the 1764.
You see?
This is a moment that the history, okay, the Roman Empire and the church.
So fountain is working. All these coats of arms are from magistrates in office at that time, as at the time of its construction. The fountain was placed near the capital. I'm showing you another one.
300 years, all the Christians are killed in this city. I mean, in the places that we are going to see together tonight, martyrs for the
And the water is gushing out from these mosques here on top of the basin. Now let's get lost again in the Vicolo San Simone. So it's a little alley again, which will lead us to two more beautiful spots. Vicolo San Simone, exactly like the name of the fountain and the name of the square as well. There you go. If you wanna take a screenshot so you know where we are. There you go. So this little alley that we are taking, the name of course derives from the ancient church of Saint Simon and Judas that was here at the top of a staircase and dated back to the 12th century. I want to see if I can show you a part of it, but I'm sure it will be tough. Look at this, it's super old. You can tell. It's kind of sketchy as well, but it's super old. This is the Street of the Three Arches. Totally new for me, because I generally take the one that we're right now. But yes, a very good one. Now, I actually saw two guys that were not looking very good to me. I don't want to judge anyone, but you know, I don't want to get robbed. I'm showing you another shrine before actually we're getting into the heart of our tour. And look at the other Madonna here. Look how beautiful. This is probably more visible than the other one. But again, probably too far for you. I can climb the building, I'm sorry. And this is Madonna della Pietà, Virgin of the Piety. Okay. You don't even think we're in Rome right now, probably, right? Okay. And now we are about to reach Casa Fiammetta, Fiammetta's house, a name of a woman, of course. I think that in the early 16th century, the street we're reaching was, and all the surrounding areas as well were inhabited by some of the leading courtesans of that time, including the famous Fiammetta. Who is Fiammetta? Cesare Borgia's favorite courtesan. So not just any courtesan. We all know the Borgia's family. And we'll go. Okay, let me pass through this. We'll join the house, which is a typical example of an early 15th century house with medieval elements, and we are about to go now. I think I got, oh yeah, no, I took it the wrong way. Let's see if there's another way. Maybe the guy knows. Wait, I got lost now. See? Because I wanna play cool, and then I get lost. Okay, well, since I can use my phone, the only way is to go by ear. But definitely this is not the way. So let's just go back. And I promise you to show you this beautiful medieval style of house. See, the square is right. Okay, here we go. I missed it because I was walking too fast. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful the house that I was mentioning before. This is exactly what I was telling you about. So again, this was where Fiammetta lived. Cesare Borgia's courtesan, his favorite courtesan. We are at number 156, 157 of Via dei Coronari. And this is a typical style of a medieval house. And yes, there are people living here, if you were wondering. I know we're used to see the most famous spots of Rome all the time, but how about some characteristic ones as well from time to time, right? There you go. Okay. Now we need to go back to the main street. Okay. You see Casa di Fiammetta. You see also from the back, just to give you an idea. Look how beautiful. Okay. There you go. Okay, very calm tour. Also because we're always in a rush, right? So let's enjoy the tranquility of this tour as well. Since in a little bit we'll be actually in Piazza Navona. And we know how crowded that is, so let's enjoy the calm before the storm. You're welcome, Cheryl. And now we're going towards, we're a little bit back towards this church, and then finally Piazza Navona. And to do so, we may even take some other alleys. Why not? I just want to complicate myself today and get even more lost. How about that? But I know you're enjoying this. This is definitely half of the beaten track. I mean, it's still downtown in a way. I mean, not in a way. It is downtown, but definitely worth the getting lost effect. And this is another beautiful street. I mean, it's actually I'll say another beautiful street. It's the ending of Via dei Coronari, the one we took at the beginning, but now we're doing it backwards. In a little, we'll turn here. I mean, I think it's better here. Yes, definitely better. Vicolo della Volpe. And you can probably see already some parts of the church. Look how beautiful the campanile there, the bell tower there. Just amazing. There you go. Look how beautiful, and we are in this beautiful hidden spot. And we encountered this beautiful church. Definitely getting lost. No, but we're fine, don't worry. So this is the back, but we'll definitely go to the front and see if we can happen to enter, so you will enjoy this beautiful church before we actually get to Navona Square. Now I'm going a little up so you can see the bell tower, which is beautiful. So I mean, we can go slightly back, it's fine. Look how beautiful this effect here. Vicolo della Volpe, so Alley of the Fox. And Santa Maria della Pace, the Church of Saint Mary of the Peace, and actually Peace as this tour is, right? So not on purpose, but it works. It's a small church. I mean, compared to others, of course. I mean, it's still pretty big, but also one of the greatest works of baroque art in Rome. The construction attributed to Baccio Pontelli, so not sure, but mostly attributed to him, was decided in the end of the 15th century, just before the supposed discovery of the Americas, by Pope Sixtus the Fourth, and after the miracle of an image of the Virgin allegedly bleeding on this site where a church already stood. So there was a church before this one. The building is famous because of the presence of the beautiful cluster built by Bramante, one of the most famous artists of that time, between 1500 and 1504, which is one of the most important works of the 16th century Renaissance. And also was first Bramante's work ever in Rome. We can go both ways, so let's go through this alley, which is a little bit more More like more like Jack the Ripper. And we go all the way around. And as a matter of fact, this is Chiostro del Bramante, but it's under restoration. This is probably, not probably, it was his first work, but also the most famous cloister in all Rome, and probably also in the world. It's just very difficult to show you also because unfortunately it's under scaffolding. Hopefully we'll happen to be here again so I can show you the beauty of this. We can enter if you want and see a little bit of the cloister. Think that on the left side they also do exhibitions, so it's not only a cloister but also a museum. So let's try to go. Okay, I'll be silent. Okay, hopefully the signal was good. I didn't want to talk much, it was very quiet inside. But this one in particular, Chiostro del Bragante, we may come back when it's under scaffolding. I mean, the scaffoldings are not here anymore. And at that point, we may even stop more and I'll tell you more about the whole area, and we'll probably do another tour of the alleys. Why not? Because there's a lot to see here around this area. Now, Vicolo della Pace, Peace Alley. Generally, it's very famous for its bars, especially the one at the end, which is called Bar della Pace, so the bar of the peace. But it's beautiful just to enjoy spritz here, or street food, as you see. You see all the kinds of supplies. Are you all there? This tour is so tranquil that nobody's speaking either. And I will try to reach the church again. We're just doing a bigger tour. The tour, I would say. And then finally to Navona Square.
Per quante telecamere posso vedere? Ora, quello caffè su carpa?
There you go. Still enjoying, I love it. Yes, that cloister is beautiful. It's the most famous example of cloister in Rome. We'll definitely dedicate a tour to that, and to another Alice tour. Why not? I'm just trying to find the exact spot to show you this beautiful church. And you remember we were just there? So we did all the tour around. Remember? And then we went this way. Now, we did all the tour just to show you the little cloister, but we could have gone easily to the left and see the church. Now, about this church again, as I was saying, we'll now see the interior, which is also very beautiful, and houses the Chigi Chapel, commissioned by Agostino Chigi. Remember the banker that I told you about, the first stop, the Arch of the Bankers, the most famous banker in Rome. Also the Pope's banker. Its architecture, the architecture of the church, it's attributed to Raphael Sanzio, who painted the fresco of the Sibyls and Angels for the chapel. And now I'll be silent again to enter the church if you want me to, and then Navona Square. Okay, there was a quick stop. The interior was amazing, simply amazing, right? And now, are we ready for Navona Square? Are we? How beautiful was that church? So beautiful, right? Now, we are not halfway because we went way beyond, but we have quite a few minutes still to enjoy the square, of course, which needs more time. Before actually getting to the square, just a little reminder halfway that this is a free tour and you are welcome to support it through sharing my Facebook page and channel with your family and friends, and also to support it with the links below, both PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. If you have any problems, you can just contact me on Messenger, or you also find them in the description of the channel. Okay, now we're ready for the square, the famous Navona Square. There you go. We're starting from the ending. Why not? Because we were already here. One of the most spectacular square in Rome, baroque style, and also built on the remains of the Stadium Domitian. The shape of the current square, which you can see already, kind of has the one of a stadium, built in monumental style by the Pamphili family, due to the will Pope Innocent X. Reproduces exactly the perimeter of an ancient stadium, and in this case the one of the Emperor Domitian, 86 AD, Annus Domini. For what? For the athletics competitions and horse racing. I think that the stadium was around almost 900 feet long, which is about 270 meters, and its width was 180 feet, around 55 meters more or less, and it could accommodate, think about it, 30,000 spectators. You went underground. Well, I'll show you part of the underground right now. How about this? While I'm telling you about the square, and then we'll come back to square. You just gave me inspiration for that, Tamara. Now, by the way, thank you, Carla. Thank you so much for the support, Carla. I haven't seen you in the chat, but I'm sure you're here enjoying the tour as well. As I was saying, the remains of the ancient structure are located here where we're going now, and they're exactly 5-6 meters underneath today's road. So today's road level, of course, and they're still viewable from the place we're going now. So I generally show this at the end, but now we'll see it at the beginning of the square tour. And there you go. See? You see, it also says that there. The first example of Mazarin Stadium ever built in ancient Rome, antique testimony and sport history. Look at the remains here. So we're actually see the road level. There's a balcony here, a gate, so I can't get in, but I can definitely see part of the inside. Of course, if you want to see the whole stadium, then you need to pay a ticket and get into the museum, which is worth it because, as I said, it's the first example. As we read, it's the first example of athletics Mazarin Stadium in the ancient Rome. So look how beautiful. And I want to show you also more or less the shape, how it was, more or less. Do you see? So this is Piazza Navona nowadays. It also says here today and 2,000 years ago. You see the shape more or less the same. You may think that I made up the numbers when I was talking about the measurements, but as you can tell, it was a little larger on the sides. See, it was more or less this way. You had this beginning and then all the stadium up to the end. See? Well, always the ending is the best part of the tour, of course. I mean, we enjoy the alleys, but Navona Square is Navona Square, let's be honest. Layers of history, exactly, layers of history. Actually, I can also give you the chance to take a screenshot of the QR code, so you can actually then maybe have the chance to shot it and see the virtual reconstruction of the Stadium of the Mission. So if you scan the code, you see this reconstruction virtually, and also show the Mission image to get a special treatment. So I will stay here for a little. Take a screen. There you go. If you couldn't take the shot, it's fine. You can just go back to the on the tour, and you can take it then. So don't worry about it. On a sad note, you remember we were here in Piazza Sant'Apollinare back in our Halloween tour, talking about Manuela Orlandi. You may remember that, right? The Vatican girl that disappeared, vanished, and the Vatican is involved in that. Oh, I mean, we are not 100% sure, but I mean, we kind of are. Anyways, this is the most famous Blush Dolls store, by the way, in Rome. You didn't know that? Well, there you go. See? Something to discover every time, you never know. Just like last time, I remember Carla didn't know about the changing of the guard, and maybe other as well, and now you do, which was a beautiful show. You remember when I got the notice that today was an Eco Sunday, I was like, no, I can't skip this Sunday as well. So anyways, and now we're back to the square. I'm wondering why the water is not filling it. Probably they just turn it on. Just curious. Anyway, the modern name Navona of the square derived from the Latin term agones, meaning games in Latin, again, the typical gymnastic contest that took place in ancient Rome. With time, of course, it is believed that the name in agones changed into Navone, meaning big ship, and because of its resemblance to the hollow profile of a ship, the square eventually assumed the name of Navona, remembering that A at the end of each word in Italian is for feminine nouns. So Navona, big ship, because in Italian for us, ship is feminine. I know it's a little awkward for English speakers, but we have feminine and masculine objects. And so Navona means big ship, the square of the big ship, just because of the shape. Over the centuries, the square has been a scene of very popular festivals, also the Befana and the three Magic Kings during Christmas time. We have been here, so you know. But also of races and rides. They're lighting up the lights. I'm very glad because now it's getting almost sunset, and I did that on purpose. You will see also the square very illuminated, which is beautiful. I think that back in the 17th century until the mid 19th century, on Saturdays and Sundays, so today, in August, so not today, in Piazza Navona, which at that time it was more concave. It was partially flooded to offer refreshments and entertainment to Romans. No, I will change a little the perspective, and we'll keep walking and walking. But this, what we're looking at right now, is the Fountain of Neptune and Octopus. Again, Giacomo della Porta in the design, also Bernini and other famous artists, but mostly Giacomo della Porta. We're talking about the basin. It's from the 16th century, the fountain itself from the 19th century. So amazing how the difference in terms of constructions. This is at the northern end of the square, mostly called the Fountain of Neptune, which once was known as the Calderai Fountain because it was located close to a small alley named this way, full of shops and pots and pans. So they were making and selling this crafts, and that's why Calderai, which recalls the pots and pans construction. Together with the other fountain that we're going to see at the end, the Mur Fountain, this was commissioned again to Giacomo della Porta, so not only this one, by Pope Gregory XIII, immediately after the restoration of the Aqua Virgo Aqueduct and the creation of a continuing water supply. That was like towards Campo Marzio, a place nearby. The only intervention that happened after that had some importance by Bernini was the removal of the steps on which it was placed the gate. So this one that circumscribes the whole fountain, and the construction of a larger basin around the fountain as well. The decoration, as we know, wasn't carried out at the time of the construction, but 300 years later, as I said before. And only in 1873, so at the end of the 19th century, following a competition, as always happening for fountain construction, launched by the municipality of the city, the fountain was finally completed by adding these two sculpture groups, which we are going to see more now. Just gonna go to the back, to the front. So the Neptune fighting with an octopus. So I'm going this way. There you go. And also narrates the nymphs, the seahorses, the cupids, and the dolphins by Gregorio Zappala. You may also see some tortoises, more turtles than tortoises. It's a beautiful, beautiful fountain. And on the right you see the shop, the plush doll shops called Al Sogno, meaning the dream, up to the dream. It's called that way. Now, of course, we are about to see the main one. And then the last one, well, we'll go as the square goes. I would have left the central one at the end, but we'll go back at the end. The famous fountain of the Four Rivers, by who this time? Only by Gian Lorenzo Bernini, 1651. So a little bit later than the one we've just seen. The Fountain of the Four Rivers was designed between those years by the sculptor Bernini and built by a group of sculptors. So it wasn't, I mean, he was helped by others, but mainly was him. it depicts the Earth's 4 main rivers, one for each continent known back then, so only 4 of them. And we have the Danube, Ganges, the Nile, and Rio de la Plata. I'm actually very proud of this because the Rio de la Plata is the Argentine's river representing the Americas. I know that in the States you study that there are 2 continents, in Europe and in South America, any other, actually most of the continents, we study that America is just 1 continent. But it's just a different way of studying them. That's why there's just 1 river for the whole continent, north and south. Because north and south for us is just directions. So it doesn't, otherwise we would have to have North Europe, South Europe, North Africa, South Africa, and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I know in the States it's studied differently. And in other parts of the world there are even more continents. So it really depends on where you studied this. Now, they are topped by, of course, this beautiful agonal obelisk from the Circus of Maxentius. There you go. On the ancient Appian Way, which is another tour we need to do, because it became part of the patrimony of Italy, of the World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage. I think they're refilling the square right now because I'm seeing that they're pretty empty, but it's still cool. Now the rivers are depicted as big giants, so the ones that you see, for example, on the left, on the right, and they're all sitting, leaning on the central travertine rock. And we'll start from this one. Actually, no, we'll start from this one. This one is the Nile, representing the African continent. We can tell also by the lion here in the middle. Here at the side we have the Ganges, and you can tell there's a dragon under his feet, representing Asia. Each giant has been made by a different artist, not by Bernini, by the way. Now we're going towards Europe. With the Danube. Why Danube? Why Europe? Represented by the horse. As we were the ones taking horses to the Americas. There you go, the horse there in the middle, just like the lion on the other side. And finally, we have the Americas. Why did I leave it at the end? There's a reason why. Again, this is Rio de la Plata, so the Argentine rivers representing the whole continent of Americas. And you can tell by the little coins that you see. I can show you. Here. Why? Coin means money. Money in Spanish is plata, just like the river. And there you go. That's how we know that this is Rio de la Plata. Now, there are 7 animals in the fountain, not just the ones that I told you. See also the serpent here, the sea serpent, also the armadillo on this side. You can tell under the, maybe here it's better to see. There you go. underneath. I'm maybe going a little farther so you can actually enjoy the whole fountain better. Yeah, way better this way. And also less sound. And of course the obelisk and the dolphins in the Pamphili coat of arms. So there's a lion, as we see. There's an armadillo, as I just showed you, a sea serpent again, a land serpent, a dragon for the Asia, a dolphin, and a horse. 7. The water does not sprinkle as in other traditional fountains, but it's gushed from various points of the fountain and on the rocks, and it pours into the large basin that we see. There you go. So what does Bernini want to do with this fountain? He wants to inspire. He wants to inspire wonder in those admiring the fountain. So you guys, imitating the space of natural reality and composing a little universe in, a little universe in motion. Because as we keep walking, it looks like it's moving a little. Also, that's why the hole in the middle of the fountain, just to give it even more dynamism to the whole square. The tradition wants also, and that's why I ended with the Rio de la Plata statue. Sorry for the noise. Once that Bernini was the rival of his contemporary Borromini, who has constructed a legend that the character in the fountain, this one that impersonates the Rio de la Plata river, would raise his hand towards the overlooking church of Sant'Angelo Navona as a sign of defense against the imminent fall of the building in front. However, as we know, as most of you probably know, this is only a legend, since the construction of the church dates back to 1652. Did not begin until later 1652, which is 1 year later the beginning of the construction of the fountain. So, impossible that this was real. No, that's a little check. That's a real little game they're playing here. This guy is making that noise. You see? There you go. You saw it. Now let me see. That's a seagull. And the armadillo here. Probably you see better. Look at them. Super beautiful right there. It looks like super fit and super in shape. It's a big armadillo. Okay. Next time we see the cloister, we can enjoy also the French Quarter with the beautiful Caravaggio painting and go back to the Pantheon. It's a beautiful area. There's a lot of other stuff to see and churches, so we can definitely do another Alice tour ending one of the most beautiful squares. So it's totally fine. This is Sant'Angelo Navona, by the way, the church I was telling you about. Look how beautiful. Now, it's not part of the tour, but if you want, I may try to go inside. Let me know. Let me know. By the way, this one was completed in 1672, so in almost 20 years, as it was built since 1652. And Borromini, started by Giacomo Ronaldo and then modified by Borromini, who modified considerably, making it one of the most magnificent Baroque architecture in Rome. Okay, I'll try. We're not done yet, Catherine, but up to you. We're going to the church and then to the last fountain, which is beautiful and super white. Okay, we'll go inside. The beauty of this church is the dome. So I'll try to go back with my back and show you how beautiful the dome is. It looks like as it's living by itself. So here's an image of the dome, but then we'll see live. See? Okay, we could actually take a look at the dome. It was beautiful. Hopefully the signal was good. And ciao Elisabetta, I couldn't say hi because I was in the church. Hello to you as well. This was a little extra in the tour. We had two extras. One was getting lost, and the other one was the cloister, and the third, here, the church of Agnese in Agone, Sant'Agnese in Agone. Back to the square towards the last fountain of this tour, the Fountain of the Moor, again by Giacomo della Porta and Gian Lorenzo Bernini, both of them together. We're talking about the 1600 here. The fountain that we're reaching represents a Moor holding a dolphin's tail in his hands, and with the dolphin's head coming out from the between the legs and of the statue and pouring water. This one is filling at the moment right now as well. The basin is highly decorated compared to the other ones, with groups of tritons. As we see, look how beautiful this is. And listen to the story because it's very interesting. So again, triton, dragons, and masks all around the basin, and then the statue of the Moor was added after. But this is the story. The Moor was preferred to a group called della Lumaca. In English, translates as in of the snail. So the fountain of the snail. And listen to this carefully. I'm telling you why. This consisting of two dolphins that supported a seashell. Now, the snail group did not meet the approval of Olimpia Maidalchini. Who was Olimpia Maidalchini? The sister-in-law of Pope Innocent X, who, for her influence on political and religious affairs especially, earned the name of Popes. At that time, Olimpia influenced all the decisions of her brother-in-law, then Pope, and it was also said that she was his secret lover. Incest there. Now, why am I telling you all this? For this reason, we can say that the entire papacy of Innocent X was also that of Olimpia, Donna Olimpia, who indeed took the decision to place the sculpture of the snail. Guess where? Where we're going in 3 weeks, in Villa Pamphili. So we'll see the actual fountain of the snail that was supposed to be placed here in Villa Pamphili. Because it's still there today. And then she picked the Moor to decorate this fountain. How interesting to end the tour, sponsoring a next one. And by the way, I'm gonna sponsor very soon the other ones. Now, there's a legend actually, in fact, that in Rome, every 7th of January, so back like a month ago more or less, the date of death of Pope Innocent X, the ghost of Olimpia, his sister-in-law, drives along the road from Piazza Navona, Navona Square, to Ponte Sisto, Sixtus Bridge, which is a tour we'll do very soon. In a carriage driven at full speed by a headless coachman with flaming wheels. How beautiful is that image? Now, the Fountain of the Moor is probably one of my favorite in all Rome, and plus all restored and white this way is even more beautiful, and the lighting is perfect at the time. I didn't expect to do it more than 1.5 hour tours, but I'm sure you enjoyed it as well as I did. Look how beautiful the square is lit up right now, so it's a beautiful ending from this view. Now, reminding you that next tour will be a brand new one, Via del Corso, Corso Street. Don't think we're seeing just a street. It's the most famous street in Rome. So you may, it's full of shops, it's true, but every important landmark in Rome is reached from that street. So you can miss that tour. We will be walking quite a while, probably a very long tour, probably even 2 hours. We'll see how it goes, okay? So don't miss that tour for any reason. Look how beautiful the lighting is right now. Now we are at the end of this beautiful tour. Thank you for staying with me. And as always, if you enjoy the tour and you would like to support, you can do so by leaving a tip through the links below, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee, in the description of the tour or in the description of the channel. If you have any problems, you can contact me privately, as always. Also, new thing, send me through Messenger your email, because I'm starting a newsletter. That means that a few days before the tour or 1 day before the tour, I'm reminding you of each tour or of any change it might occur during the tours for any reason. Now, thank you for staying with me. I'll say bye. Bye-bye. And I'll let you enjoy the finale with this beautiful fountain and square. Bye. Oh, and by the way, ask your friends to join. That's another support. I forgot to say that. So you can also support that way, not only through tips. Very important too. Ask your friends and family to join. Look how beautiful. That's not the cat. Just telling you. Yeah, you should. We got lost. Bye, Tamara. Bye, Zina. Bye, Carla. Thank you. Yes, follow what Carla is saying as well. That's very important too. Do anything that may help these tours grow. Especially if you're not able to leave a support, try to do other things that may help the tour and the channel grow. Just to keep all these tours alive, which I'm sure that all of you enjoy. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Thank you, Michael, for your support. And see you next Sunday with Via del Corso Street, the most famous of the historic center of Rome. Bye bye.